This conference will now be recorded.
Dr. Samuel Christian Frederick Hahnemann, through whom this is manifested. Dr. Kent was a follower of Dr. Hahnemann, and our master, Master Ekirala Krishnamacharya Garu, Master E.K., and Dr. G.V. Chalapati Garu, Anantapuram, and his disciple, Satyanarayana Garu. Namaskaram to all, and my dear friends who have come to attend these classes. A hearty welcome to all of you. I am very happy to invite you all to this session because spreading of homeopathy is one of our main aims in the present day. We have to find out the ways and means to spread the system to all, because this is the only system which can cater to the needs of everybody in the country and the world. This is the most effective system and also most cost effective system. Cost effective means a word I don't want to use as cheap. It is very, very cheap, and I mean cheap means less cost. So a common man will be able to afford the cost of it, and without any side effects, because the medicines are given in a potentized form. We will discuss during the course of our lectures what is potentization. I will tell you one important point is every one of us, we should try to propagate the system, particularly amongst the common man. Why only common man? You may be surprised. There are many doctors who are taking homeopathy through various dispensaries run by us. Voluntary dispensaries, charitable dispensaries where we don't charge money. There are people in the society, particularly the doctors community, who take the medicines for their families from us. It is not wrong. I don't want to say that it is wrong to take homeopathy or it is wrong to take allopathy. Nothing like that. Homeopathy has many advantages when compared with other systems, because the medicines are given in a very subtle form, and that subtle form will see that the vital force inside the person is stimulated, and the efficacy of homeopathy is the medicine is prescribed to the person but not to the disease. Whereas in other systems, medicines are selected for the disease or the changes in tissues or the organs. Unfortunately, as we are more influenced by allopathic system, people do tell us the physical more, and they are not aware of the science of homeopathy. It is not their fault. They are oriented towards allopathy because for the last so many years we have been using the system of allopathy. But now, as per the some latest survey, more than 50%, 52% something are now using homeopathy. That is very, very happiest note we have to take into consideration. Now people are all aware of homeopathy, particularly after the COVID. As there is no medicine in allopathy for COVID, they are searching for alternate systems like homeopathy, Ayurveda, Siddha, naturopathy, yoga, pranayama, etc., etc. What are the systems and what are their advantages also we will briefly address in our next classes. The importance of homeopathy lies in selecting the medicine to the person as a whole. That is why we call it as holistic system. Whatever may be the number of symptoms patient is having, whatever may be the organs involved in a particular patient, whatever may be the state or the disease position, we can select a medicine based on the symptoms. Symptoms are very, very important. So, if the physician has sufficient knowledge of selecting the medicine, the person who has the knowledge of the materia medica will be able to cure the patient with the science of homeopathy. If you select the medicine based on peripheral symptoms or one or two symptoms only, we may be a failure. And there are several inhibitions. Yesterday we discussed that homeopathy is slow. Homeopathy first aggravates, then ameliorates. All these things are there. A wrong notions on homeopathy. We will clarify all those things during our classes. Tomorrow we will start our class. For 2 days we will be addressing the juniors or freshers. I told you yesterday, unlearn to learn. And one day will be there for already those who attended Homeo 1.0 and 2.0. This is we named it as 3.0. So this will be useful. The first 2 days will be for those who are just freshers who have come to know the science of homeopathy. After the course of some 3 or 4 months, depending upon the interest or enthusiasm what the students show, after that course, you have to attend some dispensary nearby and start helping the people by practically working. You will know better when you work as a volunteer in any dispensary, and you can enrich your knowledge by seeing the patients, by noting down the cases, by preparation of the case sheet, and then after the medicine is given, the proper follow-up, what the physician sitting there or the doctor sitting there, how is he selecting the medicine? These things you have to observe and learn. Then only you will know the science of homeopathy. This is not something only to learn theory will be sufficient. No, you have to work practically there and then learn homeopathy. I will today introduce some of the words which we will use in next classes. The words why I am introducing to you is just what are we going to discuss in our classes. Number one, similar. Yesterday we told similia, similibus curantur, like cures like, or vishasya vishamaushadham. This is the principle in our Ayurveda, and the same principle is true for any human being or even veterinary or even plants, agro homeopathy. We are using homeopathy for humans and then animals and also plants. Because how is it that it will work on plants or animals? The logic behind this is medicine is given to the vital force, which is another we will be frequently using in homeopathy, the vital force. Another name to this substance. So these are the words we use, and you will come to know what is simple substance. Then vital force is the one which animates the body. We are able to move because that vital force is present in us. I once again request all to mute the audios. Jacob Varghese, please mute the audio. So these are the things which we have to learn in course, and we will definitely we will come to know what is disease, what is sickness, and what is cure. The cure according to homeopathy, what is the cure to be achieved and how to achieve the cure? All these things we will discuss in detail in our course. The person is important, not the name of the disease or the tissue changes or the lab reports or the diagnostic laboratory reports, pathological changes, they will help us, no doubt. We have to know the anatomy, physiology and pathology also. You have to take use of them. But in homeopathy, selection of the medicine is based on the totality of symptoms, and we will come to know how to select a medicine. Case taking is another important chapter we are going to discuss, because a properly taken case is half cured. If you can take the case properly, 50% of the case is cured. And if the case sheet is well written, or the patient gives full details of his sufferings, and properly if you can take the modalities, and diagnosis is done in homeopathy by the name of the medicine, but not name of the disease. So this also we are going to discuss in detail. And also we are going to discuss the miasms. Miasms is a word which Dr. Hahnemann has told that it is called the causation of the disease. So what are the miasms? What are the symptoms of the miasms? And what are the drugs that are classified under miasms? That also we will discuss. Then what are the sources of the medicines? We have mainly three sources of medicine. One is plant kingdom, animal kingdom, animal kingdom. These are the three sources which we use in homeopathy. So this is there in our Ayurveda and also Siddha medicine, where natural substances are taken as medicines, because Dr. Hahnemann says that the God has created not only food but also medicines in nature. What is the difference between food and the medicine? When food is taken by the person, the vital force in us will not show any reaction. Whereas if you take a medicine as food, the vital force will react to it. For example, if you take any substance like a coffee, you can say coffee is a medicine in homeopathy. Coffea cruda, coffea toasta, that is crude coffee and toasted coffee. It is a medicine. But medicine we are using we are using it as food. And many other medicines we are using them as food. Food means more quantity. Medicine is always in a very less quantity. So when you use the coffee as a food, there are some people who drink coffee in the morning 5-6 times. There are some people who work in the office, they take coffee for another 10 times, and that creates a lot of symptoms. Coffee is a medicine because when you take a coffee, the vital force reacts to it in the form of stimulation. The vital force is stimulated, the person gets stimulated. That is why anybody who is very dull, people advise him, take a cup of coffee, you will get lot of strength. It is not strength, it is only temporary stimulation of the vital force. Afterwards we become weak, and again they take a coffee. Finally, when they take more coffee or more medicinal substance as food, ultimately they have to take medicines as food. Nowadays you will see the prescriptions, daily 10 tablets, 15 tablets. There are people who take too many tablets and only a cup of rice. That means rice quantity is reduced, medicinal quantity is
Hello.
you have started taking medicine.
Hello.
That should be Salamaya, please put the audio on mute. I don't want to repeat several times. Please keep your system on mute. You are not only obstructing the flow of the class, but also disturbing others. So what are the food items? When you take food item, which the vital force will not react. Example, I'll tell you, even food items should not be taken in more quantity. You should always take the food in a limited quantity. Hitabhuk, Mitabhuk, and Rutabhuk. These three are the principles given in Ayurveda. Mitabhuk means limited quantity you should take. Hitabhuk means you should eat with taste. And Rutabhuk means you should earn and then take the food. Don't take others' food at the cost of others. You have to take some employment or something, earn for yourself with the hard earned money. You purchase the grocery items, then prepare the food for yourself. That is the rule. COVID has taught us this. All the hotels are closed. You will be surprised in a city like Bangalore or Hyderabad, all the hotels are busy earlier, before COVID. People stopped cooking at homes. God has observed that. If after some days, even people forget how to cook also. So He has sent the COVID to us. Now we are forced to prepare the house food, homely food, and then we are eating that. So the food item, when you take in limited quantity, the vital force will not react to it, and you will be very pleasant and light in nature. Mind is very calm and you are very active when food is taken as food. But when you take medicine as food, the vital force reaction will be either positive or negative. You take some medicine food like which gives us very drowsiness. Such food if you take, you will feel sleepy. That is, sleepiness is the reaction of the vital force to the food that is taken. So any medicinal quantity should be minimum. That is why the word minimal dose is used in homeopathy. Very frequently we use the word minimal dose. And another important word what we see in homeopathy is psychological symptoms. Very, very important. If a person fails to give or project the psychic symptoms of him, we will not be able to select a proper drug. Depending upon only the physical symptoms, we may not be able to select the right medicine unless it is a very acute or mimicking disease. For all chronic diseases, we have to take up the person's symptoms. What the person feels, what are the sensations. This again we are going to discuss in detail. Today I am only introducing you the words. From tomorrow we will start the real classes from 1 ABCD. We will start. So those already who have learned homeopathy through the earlier classes, they may give room to the freshers because already 250 over today. So 251 will not be allowed. We will see what can be done. Tomorrow we will discuss and we'll try to change the even app also we may change and we will give you sufficient notice with all the details what app we are going to use. Because we need to accommodate more persons we are trying to accommodate. We'll see what can be done. So the very important point here is psychological symptoms are to be taken into consideration. I will tell you one example what our master EK has given so that you can understand the efficacy of homeopathy very well. There was a patient in Visakhapatnam, one lady of some 48 years or 50 years. She came to dispensary. Almost she was literally crying and she came running to the master who was in dispensary dispensing medicines. She came running, weeping, and master asked what happened. No, sir, my life has gone, my family life has gone, my husband is staying with another lady in the city. Master knows that gentleman is a very nice person, and he was attending the classes of master also. He will never do like that, master knows. But this woman got a suspicion. Master asked her, how do you know? Then she said, my neighbor has seen him in another house with another lady. Whether that is true or not is not verified, but she started crying, stating that family life has gone. Then master has asked her, okay, what shall I do? Then she said, in homeopathy there are medicines for the psychological problems. So please give a medicine to my husband so that he will stop going to that lady. That poor person has never gone at all. And at the age of 55 years, he is some 55, she is about 50. So he will never do like he was working in a government office. But this lady was insisting, Master, please give medicine to my husband. Then Master asked, whether will he take if you give? No, he will take. Not only himself, I can give to his father also. No problem. She is very bold lady. Okay, Master asked her, you are feeling tired and weak. Do you require medicine? Because in homeopathy, a thumb rule is there. Unless asked, don't give the medicine. Then she said, yes, Master, I wanted to ask you medicine for me also. Because after knowing this news, I am really tired and weak and my mind is not working, she so said. Okay, Master has given a medicine by name Hoyasyamas in high potency to that lady. He put the medicine on her tongue and he gave empty pills without medicine, empty globules, that he packed it and he asked her to give it to the husband. She was very glad because medicine is given, and Master asked her to report after 15 days. After 15 days she came and Master asked her, how is your husband? Because she feels that she is not a patient. She doesn't admit that she is a patient, particularly the psychic patient. The Master asked her, how is your husband? She said, nowadays he is reduced going there. But still, I doubt he may be going. So Master gave one more empty pills dose to him and also empty pills to this lady because the medicine is working, earlier dose, and asked her to report after 15 days. After 15 days, this lady and her husband, they were going to a film by rickshaw. Those days, pull rickshaw were there. So Master asked her, how is he now? Then she said, what, Master? You are a spiritual master. Should you speak such things? Is it correct? My husband is gold. What happened? Where did the change happen? The change occurred in her psychological plane because she started imagining or false belief that husband is having another, moving or staying with another lady. So in homeopathy, we have medicines for all the psychic disorders. And homeopathy is the only system, I can say. I say that is the only system which sets right the psychic symptoms of the human being. In allopathy, there are medicines. Nowadays, they have started using medicines for psychic planes by studying the brain and its secretions, that they are preparing medicines through that. Earlier, they were giving all tranquilizers. Nowadays, even the allopathic doctors started believing that mind is the cause of disease. Earlier, they were ridiculing homeopathy. How is that mind is cause? Because mind is not visible. Mind is the one which is the culprit in us. The changes come in the mind and slowly, if the person does not take a medicine, it will descend to the physical plane, and then it takes a name of the disease like a diabetes or blood pressure or some other name, and the patient will really get physical symptoms which can be viewed through a microscope or through some blood test. And after getting the result through blood test, then the learned doctor will be very gladly announcing, you have been taking medicine from me for the last so many years. Today I have come to know your disease. It is diabetes. That poor person, patient, has been suffering for the last 15 years with angry, with suspicion, with fear, with so many psychic symptoms. He has been suffering, but no medicine was taken because the patient does not know homeopathy, is not aware of homeopathy. If we can administer homeopathy when the disease at the stage of hallucinations or delusions or false beliefs or suspicion, etc., we will be definitely able to cure the person in time before the disease descends to the physical body. And this is the efficacy of homeopathy, and only in homeopathy we can do like this. No other system can help for psychic patients directly, and you will be surprised that the cure will be in few seconds in some cases, few minutes or few hours, and some cases it may require few months or years also. Does not matter, because it is the only system, I can say, which will cater to the needs of all psychic disorders. This is important to know while taking down the case of the person, to ask the psychic symptoms. Like somebody says, I like cold air. Somebody says, I don't like cold air. I want the room to be warm. Husband likes to have fan and AC, whereas the wife wants warm climate. Husband closes the doors and wife opens the doors because she needs cold air. So the fight is going on like that. One day I was traveling by train in a sleeper coach. Midnight at 9 o'clock, the person sleeping in the middle berth and the person sleeping on the lower berth, they started fighting with each other. They switched on the light. I was sleeping on the upper berth. Then I came down. I asked them, what is the problem? Why are you fighting? Disturbing us. We are sleeping. Then one person sleeping on the middle berth, he said, sir, I want cold air. The person sleeping on the lower berth, he is closing the window. Whenever I open, he is closing the window. And the person sleeping on the lower berth said, sir, I want warm climate. I can't bear this chill air because it's already chilly outside. And this person opens the windows all the times. Then I told him, I was there in the same coupe, and I told him, person who doesn't want cold air, please go to upper berth. A person who wants cool application, go to lower berth. I can sleep in the middle berth. Because for me, I can adjust to any type of climate. And they have gone like that. The lower berth person has gone to top berth, upper berth, where there was no cool air. And the person who wants cool air has gone down, and there is cool air for him. We never know that this is a symptom to be cured. We never know that this is a part of the disease. In homeopathy, we don't have the names of the diseases. In allopathy, they have names of the diseases. They give a name to the disease, and according to the name, they treat the patient. In homeopathy, there are no names. We have only symptoms. In the absence of symptoms, it is very difficult to select a medicine in homeopathy. We can select based on the symptoms available. But generally, it is very difficult unless case is fully taken down. But in allopathy, they give the medicines based on the disease, and unfortunately or fortunately, I don't know, there are specializations in allopathy. A doctor who sees the chest or cardiologist, he cannot give, or generally he will not prescribe a medicine for a small fever or cold. A general physician cannot attend to a patient suffering from heart attack. So the specializations, they are actually boon or curse to the humanity is yet to be established. In homeopathy, the basic advantage is the person is taken as one entity and all the symptoms are taken down, because all the symptoms are but the reaction of the vital force to the foreign substance or disease substance that has entered the body. Maybe because of old symptoms, because of the genetic disorders, whatever may be the reason, the medicine is selected based on totality of symptoms of all the organs, of any problem of any organ, all the organs we will take. Generalities we take, mind symptoms we take. So totally the cause of the disease we take into consideration. All the symptoms are taken down and only one medicine is selected for the totality. This is another word which often we repeat in our classes. Only those important points are the words I repeat several times only to see that they settle in your mind, because you should understand the meaning of those words and practically you should use those words in your regular life. And one more thing, what I wanted to tell you are the feedback I received from my students of earlier batches. One person told me that after attending the classes, my attitude is changed. When I told him about Naksvamika in one class, he came and told me, sir, after this class, I understood that being angry is the most worst thing. I should never be angry. I also have the symptoms of Naksvamika. If you permit, I will take one dose of Naksvamika, but from tomorrow I will change my attitude, because being angry is a symptom and I am a patient to that. So if you learn homeopathy, the advantage is there will be a sea change in your attitude after the finishing of the medicines. That is very, very important. We are going to learn medicines in our daily practice. We will be taking up some classes on philosophy of homeopathy and how the homeopathy has come into existence for few classes, and afterwards we will start discussing on the medicines which we call as materia medica, that we call it as drug pictures, or each drug has a picture of its own. And in homeopathy, one word we used, similar, that is similarity. So the system of homeopathy is based on the principle called similia similibus current. Nowadays, what happens is the persons are the patients. The persons are becoming patients because of their lifestyle, because of the habits, because of the pollution, air pollution, water pollution, mind pollution, and very, very unfortunate, I'm telling you, the serials in the televisions, all the characters, they are negative characters, and people are watching, particularly ladies are watching, and many of them are becoming crazy after watching the serials regularly. Maybe it is in Hindi or Telugu or Kannada or Tamil or any serial for that matter. All the persons, the directors or the actors or those serials, they are all patients. They project hatredness, they show the jealousy, all these qualities they are showing through those characters. And knowingly or unknowingly, when you watch the negative things, the qualities peep in. When you learn homeopathy, the good qualities will come into you without your knowledge, because it is the mind that is trained. It is the mind that is the culprit. It is the mind that is to be set right. It is the mind which you should understand. And that mind is nowhere, but it is everywhere. So, in homeopathy classes, we are going to touch very important points, and a training of the mind is undertaken here. And we see that you will be very nice person of the classes. Your attitude will change, your behavior will change. That is why I suggest to the members who are participating in the class, please attend the class as a full family, so that you need not worry about others in the family. One day I was giving a class. After the class was over, I came out. One wife and husband were fighting with each other. I just, before taking the motorcycle, I just went to them. I asked the wife, what is the problem? Why are you fighting here? Then she said, Master, whatever class you told, wonderful things, sir. But all those things, my husband, seeing my husband only you told, but he is not accepting. The class is for him. And the husband repeated the same thing. Sir, the class is for my wife. She has all these qualities. She has to set right. So it is for her. He said it is for her. She said it is for him. Then I intervened and I told it is for me. The class, whatever I am conducting, it is for me, not for you. Here also, this class also, I am conducting the classes for me only. And if you are also benefited, because I am getting benefited with each and every class. So if you are also benefited, I will be very glad. So in homeopathy, when we say about the symptoms of various medicines or the drug pictures of various drugs, you should always see that what are the bad qualities I am having, what are the lacuna I am having, and how to repair myself, either by taking the medicines or by sincerely following the classes. 100% I assure you, there will be a change in your attitude if you seriously attend the classes and sincerely understand. As an example I gave you now, the husband feels that the class is for the wife, and wife feels that the class is for the husband. And as long as you feel that the other person is to be set right, not me, I am okay. If you feel like that, I think that patient cannot be repaired, even the Brahman who created him. So always it is me to be set right. Always the fault is with me. I have to rectify myself. As long as you feel like that, you will be normal, you will have good health. And if you are not able to achieve that on your own, the medicine of homeopathy will definitely help you, and you can attend any dispensary nearby who are practicing the classical system of medicine. Why classical? I'm using the word. There are two types of systems are there. There are people who give the combinations, mixing some 5 or 6 remedies they are giving. But in our dispensaries, particularly Master E.K. dispensaries or Dr. Chelupati Garu dispensaries, we give one medicine at a time. Afterwards, as follow-up, we will give second medicine. And as a follow-up, we give third medicine. But not all the three in a mixie and then mix it and give to you. It is not correct. So the system is very clear that it is a single remedy. Why single remedy? Because there is only one vital force in us. This theory is very close to the Advaita Siddhanta given by Bhagavad-pada, Shankaracharya. There is only one person in the person. There is only one life force in us. There is only one vital force in us. We are one, but the one is projected as many. The best example to understand is one form of gold can take the shapes of different ornaments. When it takes a shape of ornament, we call it by a name like a bangle, a ring or something like that, necklace or something like that. But all the three items, there is only one item behind that, or because with which only it is manufactured, it is made, that is the gold. If you remove the gold from the chain, nothing remains. The mathematics teacher told his wife, "You please give me your gold chain. I will sell the gold and return you the chain," which is impossible. It never happens because we cannot sell the gold and then chain is returned. It is not possible. If you sell the gold, means chain totally vanishes. This is the theory, we call it as cause and effect theory. This also we are going to discuss in detail in course of our classes. Another important point what you should learn, or what we use very frequently, is the word called, very important thing is the drug pictures. We discuss several drugs. Each drug is unique, like each person is unique. You will not find the same thumb throughout the world you go. Thumb impression is different. Iris, that is why Aadhaar card iris is taken. Even now the attendant even online, that is, we use the iris or thumb impression. So why all these things? Because the iris is unique. Like that, the thumb impression also unique. Like that, medicine is also unique to each and every person. The person will have a definitely a different picture. Person having different pictures, and different drugs are used for different people based on the totality of symptoms. Symptoms are the base for us to select a medicine. This is very important. If you don't find symptoms, you cannot select the medicine. That is why asymptomatic, there are no medicines. But it is again a very surprising thing that we will have symptoms while taking breath, or while leaving the breath, or while sleeping. Which posture you sleep, the food, what type of food you like, whether you like sweets or you like hearts or you like sour substances, it differs from person to person. Sleeping posture differs from person to person. Based on the sleeping posture, there is one drug called rhododendron in homeopathy. The person keeps one leg on the other like this while he sleeps. Even suppose consciously he may not put the legs like that. Once he comes to know that I am rhododendron, he will keep the legs apart. But once he goes to the sleep, automatically the leg comes left and right, or right and left. Because this is the peculiar symptom, we call this as. Like that, there are symptoms in homeopathy which are very peculiar, and any drug based on the totality of symptoms is surely going to treat him totally. There is another clinical experience. I have been running clinic for the last 20 years, and I have several clinical experiences of my practice. And many patients come and tell me, "Sir, I have forgotten to tell you that I have also the pain in the left knee, sir, but you have given medicine to my headache. Left knee pain got cured." Then I tell the patient, "I have not given the medicine for the headache." "No, sir, I told only headache in the beginning." "Yes, you might have told. You want medicine for headache? You please keep the headache on my table. I will treat you." "No, sir, how can we remove the headache from the head? How can I keep it on the table?" When you can't keep it, when it is not visible to the physical eye or naked eye, you only feel the pain. You only suffer from the feelings. Feeling means, "No, sir, I am not feeling." Really it is there. Yeah, really it is there. But it is there as if you are feeling. So those feelings and sensations we take into consideration, because the disease cannot be separated from the person, particularly the disease of the psychic plane or the mind. So we give the medicine as a whole to the person, and the person who has not told the symptoms, or he might have forgotten to tell the symptoms. Those symptoms also will be made to disappear, thus bringing a permanent and total cure to the patient. This is the speciality of homeopathy. So you need not run from pillar to post. You need not run from one doctor to other doctor, then this specialization, that specialization. Ultimately, you will end up in only running. Because of that, your money is drained and also your health also will go worse from worse to worst, like that. It happens. Whereas in homeopathy, if you go to a homeo physician and if you give the case properly, for all the symptoms, we select one medicine. This is the efficacy of homeopathy. So it is possible for the physician to cure totally with homeopathy only, with one medicine only, and in many cases with one dose only. Nowadays, one dose is not working. Some people say that it depends upon the sensitivity of the patients. For some persons, one dose may work for 1 day. For some persons, it may be 10 days. For some persons, it may be 2 hours. So I'm going to teach you how to repeat a dose, how to select a potency. All those things you will come to know in course of the classes. Very important point you have to note down is you should be very sincere in learning the homeopathy, and it is not sufficient. A tuition given here is not sufficient. You also require intuition. For that, you have to do meditation. You have to follow your guru or some God whom you believe. You need not believe the master whom we are believing. You can have your own masters and something. There is some force beyond us which is running us, which is making us live. And that force, I surrender to it and I take the rescue under that and it guides me properly. This is one of the very important points you should note down. And any disease for that matter, we don't call the name of the disease. We don't use the word disease, but sometimes we use because to make you understand. Here we call as symptoms only, set of symptoms. So set of symptoms only. And disease is what can Hahnemann or Kent they have said. What is disease is? Disease name is nothing but the name of the medicine for that person. In Kent's philosophy lectures, one patient came to him once and he asked, Doctor, what is the disease I am having? The Dr. Kent stated that you have a disease by name Naksvamika. Naksvamika is the name of the medicine. If that person is given Naksvamika, the patient is totally cured because the name of the disease is nothing but the name of the medicine. The name of the medicine are the symptoms of the patient. They suit similar or with the name of the Naksvamika. So the drug works totally on him and he gets cured. The disadvantages of homeopathy also I will touch today to a little extent. The disadvantages of homeopathy is generally what we find is overdosage of other systems of medicine, or there is no proper food habits. There are no proper food habits. Food we categorize food into three types. One is sattvic food, other is rajasic food, and the third one is tamasic food. So if you see the spelling, Rajasic, Rajasick, that is sickness is there in that Rajasic food. And Tamasic also, sickness is there. But Sattvic, there is no sickness. So we have to change the habits of taking too much masala or too much other medicinal substances like onion, garlic, etc. So a person who follows a diet, soft diet with no coffee and tea, you can take milk, and a person can take all kinds of vegetables, all kinds of fruits, anything he can take, which will not interfere with the working of the medicine given to the person. When the person takes homeopathy and also he drinks coffee regularly, it is a very possibility is there that it may neutralize the medicine. For some people, it may not also. Particularly for those people where the medicine is not giving result, we advise them, please stop coffee, tea. Then the medicine started working because of their sensitivity. There are some people, medicine works even if they take all kinds of foods. Medicine works, no problem. We don't ask them to stop, but we put it as a general rule that these are the items to be avoided while the person is under homeopathic treatment. This is one disadvantage because there are people who cannot stop food habits, and also extra stimulants like either smoking or that is tobacco or another chewing of these pan parag and other tobacco items, and then drinking alcohol. All these things are anti to homeopathy. So such cases where the person may say that, sir, I have been taking medicine with a homeopathy doctor for the last 5 years, sir. There is no relief. I came to you now. Even if you take with the same habits for another 5 years with me, you will go to some other doctor and tell that 10 years I have taken homeopathy, no use. Because medicine should be allowed. When a similar medicine is selected, 100% without any doubt, the medicine will work on any person. This is our experience. The homeopathy does not work for me. Homeopathy should have belief, not me. We gave the medicine to a person who is in coma. What belief he has on homeopathy? He is not talking, he is not opening his eyes. When we gave the medicine, I gave to a medicine to a person who was some 70, 80 years old, who was in coma for the last 4 months. A doctor called me, one of my doctors who is my patient. He called me to the ICU. He asked me, sir, whether homeopathy will help such a patient who is not responding to treatment and he is in coma for the last so many months. Then I gave him one medicine called opium in 200 potency. Within 24 hours, he came to conscious. Very nice. He told, I am okay now. Doctor, please discharge. Slowly, it took 24 hours to work, and the medicine has given the result. Patient has come to consciousness. Doctor was surprised. Sir, we have been giving medicines, allopathic medicines. He was not at all responding. How is it that homeopathy has given him relief? I told that opium, one of the symptoms is this. So we gave opium. The patient is not aware of the medicine that was given to him. He was in coma. Even then it worked for him. So don't think that we have to believe in homeopathy to work. No, it is a science. Homeopathy is a science, proven science. Some doctors may ridicule it, stating that it is only placebo, there is no medicine at all. Nothing. I will give and quote one example from Dr. Nash's experience. One day one doctor came to him and he told homeopathy there is no medicine. Immediately Dr. Nash took a hammer and hit him hard on the head. So there was a bump immediately. Within 2 minutes, bump has come. Then Dr. Nash has given him arnica in 200 potency, one dose. And within 10 minutes, that has gone. Then he asked whether, please tell me whether homeopathy is working or not. The doctor said, sorry, it is working. I only got the experience that it has come within 2 minutes and gone within 5 minutes. So this is the work of homeopathy. Whether you believe it or not, it works because it is a science. Science is a science. It is not a belief or it is not placebo. It is not something Maya Mantram, nothing. It is not a magical system. It is a scientific system, proved beyond doubt. And all the medicines are proved on healthy human beings, not on animals, not guinea pigs, not the mice or rat or something like that. All the medicines are proved on healthy human beings, and Dr. Hahnemann has proved 99 drugs on himself. He is a prover. And he gave the same medicinal substances to his students, disciples. And they have proved, and the notes was written what they are feeling how they are feeling, and all the feelings of the mind symptoms are noted down on a piece of paper, and all the common symptoms that are existing in all these 20 people notes, they are taken out and common symptoms are noted. Imagine where there were no computers, where there were no proper printing facilities, but the Hahnemann could discover this life science. It is called life science because there is life in it, and we are stimulating the life force or the vital force in the person to cure himself. The physician has no business to interfere with the disease of the patient because the person has to cure himself. His vital force in him is so weak that it was not able to fight with the disease force. Hence, we give a medicine, homeopathy medicine, which stimulates the vital force to activate the vital force, and the vital force itself cures the disease symptoms. It is very clear in Bhagavad Gita, Uddhared Atmanatmanam. One has to develop oneself. That is, one has to cure oneself. So this theory is followed, as told in the Bhagavad Gita. This theory was followed in homeopathy. Homeopathy has its origin thousands and thousands years of back. Hahnemann was not the first person to discover it. It was there in the universe. It was there propounded by some of the earlier doctors, Dr. Paracelsus, Dr. Hippocrates. They have given the theory, but Hahnemann has given a shape to it. He discovered the miasms called psora, syphilis, and psychosis. He did tapas for 12 years to find out what is the cause of the disease. How is it that the disease symptoms are repeated again and again and again? He was an allopathic doctor. He was a practicing allopath. And he was surprised. I am giving the best medicines, but the patient comes again and again. What is the problem? So there must be a disease cause which is triggering the disease symptoms in the person. So we should remove the disease cause. And what is the disease cause? He did a lot of research in those days and he found out the miasms, which we are going to discuss in detail in due course of our classes. So please, I request you all to please attend the classes sincerely. Note down all the important points. From tomorrow, I may give some points also for noting down the notes, which you are expected to keep a notebook and a pen ready for tomorrow's class. And for those who are seniors, this class may be boring. That is why I divided the classes into juniors and seniors. Those who know already, they attend the class on Friday. So tomorrow is the class for first class for freshers, and whatever I told yesterday and today, maybe I may have to repeat them in a very systematic way, and I assure you that you will get good knowledge in these 3 or 4 months classes which we are going to conduct on Wednesday, Thursday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock for freshers or juniors, and Friday, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock for seniors. So this is the rule. We don't charge anything. It absolutely, the course is free. And if more people join, we may have to shift from GoToMeeting app to some other app which can accommodate more than 250. That our admin Sri Shankar is working on that, and he is the person who arranges all these things. So those persons who could not join today, please don't get discouraged. We will give you an opportunity, and this is the class today. Any doubts are there, you can ask for 10 minutes. I will clarify. I start the class at 7 and